Hey guys, welcome to Pixel Street Videos. I'm John Hansen, joined by Joel Campos, and we got early access to Dying Light 2 Stay Human. This is going to be our quick first impressions video, and we got a few questions from our Discord about the game that we'll answer as well. If you want to join our Discord, talk about games with us, there is a link in the description for that. But Joel, you ready to talk some Dying Light 2, baby?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so there's going to be no spoilers or anything in this. We're just mostly going to talk about gameplay, but a little bit of the overall world. Let's start off with our questions to get them out of the way. First, Chad Mike Ennis said, since its announcement, they've been making a huge deal out of the choices you can make and how they affect the world. Do they feel like a substantial leap in player agency and consequence, or more on par with similar systems in games like Infamous, Mass Effect, Fallout, etc.? So, I should also say, me and Joel have played about 10 hours of the game so far. So, we're not near the end or anything. It's just very much in the beginning parts of the game still. I would say so far for me, the choices in this game have been very underwhelming. There's been a few that we've had to go through, but me and Joel are purposely taking the opposite choices and we're coming out on the same end a lot of the time. There's a few different things, like he might have to do an extra step than I do. I think a lot of these early choices are going to be bigger players at the end of the game, but
I
in
hope.
the short. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so as well. They just don't. There's not a lot of oomph to them so far, but like I said, very early in the game, these could change up. But yeah, how have you felt about the choices so far?
So when I came up to my first choice that I had to make, I was like, all right, here it is. Like, these are the big decisions we need to make. And I made one decision, and then John texted me like a few hours later. He's like, hey, like, I want to write guides about this. Just curious what decision you made. I want to make the other one, and we'll see what happens. And he did the other one, and turns out it is almost the same exact outcome. You couldn't, after the, like, these decisions that we've been making so far in the game, it seems like the outcome of it only lasts like 5 to 10 minutes if you keep playing, right?
Sometimes
so, like,
not even that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like very short. I don't know, like maybe you choose option A or option B, and somebody's like, "Oh, that pisses me off. Why would you do that?" Or you know what I mean? And then it's over.
And then
like,
they're back to being buddy.
Yeah, and then next time you go to pick up a mission, they're like, "Hey, let's do this for the greater good," or whatever. It's so hard talking generically about a game without like
Right.
going into it. But yeah, it's like the decisions seem to not really matter. There was one decision that I had made that John did not, where I met somebody, and then I played like two more missions, and then I just ended up meeting them again. But the dialogue was as if I had never met that person, because clearly they designed it so that you were supposed to meet this person later, but then they went back in and added a decision, it seems like. We're like, okay, you end up meeting this person here. It's just so weird. It, like, the dialogue stuff is kind of weird around the decision making, and I don't know.
Yeah, I hope it picks up. I have heard, I think some devs talked about in the past that there was like a decision where you could flood a big portion of the map and make it inaccessible while also opening another portion that just some players would never play. We haven't seen anything on the scale of that. It's been very small, but I would say the first 8 to 10 hours that we've played has been kind of a tutorial area. It's weird. There's a tutorial that you have to go through to like learn the game and everything, and then you unlock the open world, and then the rest of your time in that first area is kind of an extended tutorial. It's more open and everything, but there are still things there that it's trying to teach you how to play. So where we're at now, I think it's opening up, and maybe we'll see more of that. But yeah, at the beginning, well, here, let's just go on to our next question. Brent, what's his last name? I'm blanking on it right now.
Gillihan?
Gillihan. Yes, Brent Gillihan, friend of the show. He's been on the podcast before. Yeah, because I say we're on Gillihan Island. That's right. He asked, "Is it fun?" And yeah, playing the game is fun. If you played Dying Light 1, I think you're gonna enjoy this game. There are a little few quirks about it here and there. I think they've changed up the jumping a little bit and the parkour. I think the parkour feels better than the first game, and I already liked it. But the jumping and the climbing is a little off. They added in a stamina bar to climbing now. It's very Breath of the Wild, where if you don't have enough stamina, you're just gonna fall straight down. And in the early parts of the game, when you don't have much stamina and you don't have many skills, it's very aggravating. But other than that, just running through the city, dodging enemies and everything is a lot of fun. What do you think about playing it on a funness level?
I think the parkour is like much better than the first one, and I credit that mostly to like next gen technology and the fact that, I can play it at like, I don't know if it's running at 60 or 120 on my TV. Like, I know my TV's capable of both. I'm just not sure what the game is running at. Um, and yeah, I think that that's helping it make it feel much smoother and, more dynamic, I guess, when you're just sprinting over rooftops and stuff than the
Hmm.
previous game felt. That's kind of why I was kind of disappointed when they announced the Dying Light 1, whatever it was, the Ultimate Edition that just came out like a few months ago,
Hmm.
maybe over the summer. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't announce like a next gen upgrade for it or something, because I feel like that would have been cool. But yeah, regardless, Dying Light 2, the parkouring, it's just so cool. It's so much fun.
That's the thing with it is I think this game starts out very slow, and I think it's going to get better as you unlock more abilities. One problem I have with the gameplay is a lot of abilities are locked behind that you have to unlock that just should be there from the start. Like you can't slide, you have to unlock that. Um, just things like that are annoying, but once you get them and you go through the world like a playground, I think it's going to be so much better. I'm a little put off on the combat so far. I think it's fine, but I think I like the first one better. A problem you and I have both had is that the weapons have been underwhelming. I've also felt that I've been very poor pretty much the entire time I've played, even though I'm scavenging like everything. I will say though, the very little bit of time I've spent in the next area, I'm getting more resources and stuff. So I think that just has to do with the game having such a slow start. Um, because of that, I think things are going to be a little. I think some people will be put off at the beginning of this game. It's not bad by any means. If you play Dying Light
In
1, you're going to like it, but it's slow.
and by beginning of this game, we mean at least the first 10 hours, because that's what we've
Yeah.
played, right? And that's a
Yeah.
long time to play and be underwhelmed with weapons or something in a game. Really, the only thing we have to do to make our weapons semi cool is to add mods to them.
And
And
they're underpowered mods.
yeah, they're underpowered mods, and like they're all right. Like some of them do cool stuff, like you would expect from Dying Light 1, like
Mhm.
light things on fire or electrocute zombies, stuff like that. But nothing's like mind blowing, I guess, or like oh man, that was fucking cool. No, it's like
Yeah.
nothing crazy.
You can also upgrade your mods though over time. So say I have a shock mod, I put it on a weapon. Okay, it can now electrify enemies. I can take that mod instead of losing it or anything. I can take it to a craftsman and upgrade its potency. The problem is early in the game, like I said, I feel so poor. I never bought anything from the shopkeepers. I never upgraded anything because I just never had enough stuff, and I'm over here scavenging everything. So yeah, like I said, the beginning of the game a little frustrating. There's a lot of stuff there. You're like, yeah, they're gonna build on this and everything. The one thing I hope we see, it at least isn't in the beginning of the game. There's no grapple hook, and I love the grapple hook in the first. I just love grapple hooks in general. I mean, I've said that plenty of
Yeah,
times, but
I mean they added
um,
it to Halo for Christ's sake.
yeah, right. All right, and the last question we got from Forbidden Wario: does it have zombies? Yeah, guess what? The sequel to a game about zombies has zombies. So
No.
this takes place 15 years after the outbreak. So if you played the first one, Haran, that area, I think they contained that first zombie virus, and then later on it just got out. The GRE were working on another virus that got out, and now the entire world is just done. Like this is a global event, but you're just in this small area. You play as Aiden. He doesn't have a last name, so we're just gonna call him Mr. Protagonist, um, who is a pilgrim. And pilgrims are people that they don't stay hunkered down in a community. They travel the country. They travel wherever they want to go and survive. Well, he's looking for his sister Mia, or is it Maya? I believe it's Mia, and that's about all we know on that end so far. Um, so far, the world itself, I mean, the zombies are cool. I haven't been too wowed by the special zombies so far. You've got it it what's the one at night that yells at you?
Yo, I don't know any of their names. I just know them
Yeah,
by like the
it
one
is.
that screams.
Yeah, there's one that screams that if you're on the ground at nighttime, the world is just filled with zombies. You really need to just travel on the rooftops at night, or you're
Yeah.
just going to be overwhelmed because every time they scream, more zombies come at you. They'll chase you down. Um, there's the bolter, which when it sees you, it just runs away, and you have to catch it and hit it to get some good rewards out of it. But it doesn't put up much of a fight. Yeah, there's not much there, but I don't know. Maybe more will be introduced as time goes on. The thing I like about the world this time around is they gave a much bigger emphasis on being out at nighttime. Because in the first game, there wasn't much there. If you wanted to run from volatiles and you wanted to there was like an invasion game mode that they had. You could do that, but I don't think I ever did. I think a lot of people just avoided nighttime. When it was nighttime, just get to a safe zone and sleep. Now there is reason to, because during the daytime, a lot of zombies will be inside buildings. And at nighttime, they go out onto the streets. And inside those buildings are a lot of resources that you can go and grab when things are much easier to get by. So I like that aspect of it. I love that there's more reason to play at night now.
Yeah,
The
in
zombies
Dying Light
themselves are.
1,
Oh,
in
go ahead.
Dying Light 1, I feel like there were only a handful of missions that made you play at night. And in
Hmm.
this game there are a lot of like side missions and even main story missions that make you play the
Yeah.
game at night, which is really cool because like I'm a scaredy cat, so I would have just slept every time I could to make it daytime.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a bigger emphasis on playing at night. And it still plays great at night. I love the chase sequences. This is thing that was in the first game as well. They're fun to do. It's fun to run away from zombies, and like that they're crawling out of vents and they're jumping out of windows at you, and then you get to a safe zone and you got the UV lights there, and they just like stop or they run into it and die at your feet.
Yeah, they start burning.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there. The zombies themselves, the like special zombies, like I said, not many yet, but it's whatever. This isn't like Left 4 Dead where I'm really enamored by the special zombies. Let's say that. Yeah. Real quick, let's finish this off with talking about the characters themselves. Aiden, I think, is a cool character, but he's just kind of a basic protagonist.
Yeah.
Um, there are some
He
other.
feels a lot like a Far Cry protagonist.
Yes, yes, he does. This game in general, there are some characters that I really enjoy. There are some side characters that I'm like, yeah, I love this guy, I love this girl. They're really cool. I want to hear what they have to say. It's the smaller characters though that just don't do anything for me. Sorry. Um, the smaller characters, like you'll be walking around and you just hear some kind of hillbilly gang member talking in the background, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right at all. I believe this is supposed to be in like Central America, South America,
Yeah,
and it
it's
sounds
weird.
like it sounds like it's filled with a lot of rednecks. Honestly, it's so weird.
Yeah, it like there's like you hear accents from all over the world, all within this like
Hmm.
really small city. I don't know. I mean, there might be some backstory to it where like I don't know, people were fleeing to this city because it was known to be safe. I no idea, but yeah, very very strange.
They do explain a thing with the city, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's about all I have to talk about. Overall, I think the game's a lot of fun. If you've been waiting on Dying Light 2, let's see, 7 years now,
Yeah, I think
I'd
so.
say it's
7.
good. I do think the beginning of the game is going to be a bit of a chore for some people, but once you get past that and you see how much the game opens up, I think you'll really enjoy it. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I'm enjoying my time with it so far. I'm definitely excited to see where the story's going. I can't wait to get some better weapons. Like I can't
Yes.
wait until we're like end game level, and then we go back and
Mhm.
help people that are playing the game, and they're just like, "Whoa, how the fuck are you doing that?" It's like, oh
Yeah,
well.
especially when you get more skills where you can
Yes.
double jump and one of it's a really simple skill that I've unlocked, but there's just a skill to make it faster to like go through tight squeeze areas and stuff like that, and it's just so fluid. Like there's a little chest or something. If I have to jump over it, he like does a flip, and it's just so more fluid and smooth, and that's what I love about it. But that's gonna do us for this first impression talk. Thanks so much to Techland for letting us play. This has been really enjoyable. Like the video if you like it. Comment down below your thoughts on Dying Light 2. Subscribe to see any of our future videos, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye! Hey guys, John Hansen here. We had one more question from our Discord that I wanted to throw in here at the end. This came from Monkey Balls Balls, who asked, will it be worth the price? And yes, I think Dying Light 2 will be worth the price. $60, $70. I'm not sure what they're charging for it, but I think whatever that full price model is for them, I think it will be. I haven't seen anything pointing towards them doing any kind of microtransaction kind of thing. It's going to be very much like the first game. You can unlock everything in the game and all that, but it's going to be a much bigger. There's going to be a much bigger focus on the RPG mechanics of the game. So I think for it to be worth it for you, one, you had to have liked the first game, and two, I think you have to be a fan of RPGs. If you're not into big games like that, if you're not into zombie games or stuff like that, it might not be your cup of tea. But for me at least, since I'm the only one I can speak on behalf of, I think if I hadn't gotten the game early, I definitely would have pre-ordered this and bought it at full price anyway. But that does it for our questions. This is the end of the video for real now. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Thanks. Bye.